presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Baseball from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas matches the American League's Kansas City Royals against the National League's Houston Astros. Welcome, everybody, to Game 3 and the deciding game of this series. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. We watched the Astros win the opener, and then the Royals got a shutout win last night, 2-0, JD.
Yeah, Astros scored a bunch of runs in that opener. Couldn't get anything going last night. Missed some opportunities, so they'll try it again today against left-hander Bruce Chan. One guy who's been swinging a hot bat, Justin Maxwell. Since late May, the numbers have been very outstanding for the Astros outfielder. 286 average, 6 home runs, some colossal home runs, and an on-base plus slugging up over 1,000. That's elite territory for Maxwell.
He also has made some fantastic catches in the outfield. That was his first opposite field home run of the year. What will he do tonight? Well, Jordan Lyles is on the mound this afternoon. We'll see how today's game goes in just a moment.
To you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Well, it's afternoon air-conditioned indoor baseball here in Houston, Kansas City. The Royals in for the final game of this 3-game set. Each club has won one. The Astros will go with Jordan Lyles against a one-time Astro, Bruce Chen, one time with a lot of different teams. The breakup at home plate means the managers and the coaches and the umpires are all squared away. And we're just about set for baseball as we're waiting for the Astros to take the field. A lot of groups you can see in the colors around the ballpark. Youth groups that are here for this afternoon affair. The Astros will have tomorrow off and then start a series with Cleveland on Friday. And as the Astros take the field, we'll send it upstairs. The guys are going to call the action. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
And on this June 20th, Carlos Lee takes the field at age 36. Happy birthday, Carlos. Here's the Hyundai starting lineup for Ned Yost. It's Alex Gordon in left field, Yuniesky Betancourt at second, Billy Butler at first, Jeff Francourt in right field. Mike Moustakas is the third baseman with Alcides Escobar at shortstop. Brian Pena, the catcher. Gerard Dyson in center field. Bruce Chen, former Astros, the pitcher.
And on the bump for the Astros this afternoon, 21-year-old Jordan Lyles. He's 1-3 with a 5.50 ERA. Last time out against the Rangers, 4 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 of which were earned. All 5 of those runs coming in the 5th inning. He had gone along nicely through 4 and then got ambushed. Had some misplays behind him. Our defense is brought to you by the Home Depot, and you see Martinez, Maxwell, and Bixler in the outfield. Johnson, Lowry, big and little on the infield. Snyder behind the plate. Brad Mills trying to get as many right-handed bats in there as possible against the lefty Bruce Chen.
And as Lyles goes to the mound for his most recent start and number 8 of the year with the Astros, he has a lot of successful innings. He's been susceptible to the big inning. He can be sailing along for 3 or 4 innings of shutout ball. And you know, we talked after his outing at Texas, and I mentioned to Jordan, I think he's really close, JD. I think that he's close to eliminating those big innings, and things could really turn for him. He hasn't been throwing the ball as badly as his ERA indicates.
Right, I agree. I think he's been throwing the ball quite well, and just he has, like the previous start against the White Sox, it was one big inning that was his undoing. Again, it was the 5th. He had a 5-run inning in that start against Chicago, and a 5-run inning in that start against the Rangers. Bellino, Lane, Davidson, Wachlinski are the arbiters for this affair this afternoon.
Bellino's ready to go, and so is Alex Gordon. 258 for Gordon, 5 homers. He's driven in 22 with a 359 on base average. He has 21 doubles. He's tied for 3rd in the American League, taking ball 1 from Lyles. Gordon had 3 hits in the opener of this series. Last night he was held hitless. This fly ball goes to left center field. Caught by J.D. Martinez. 1 out for Lyles. And it's Betancourt coming up next. The Royals are hanging in there. They're only 4.5 games out of the lead in the AL Central. They're 30-36. They're 3-2 on the current road trip. They won 2 of 3 in St. Louis before coming here.
27-22 since a disastrous start. And in the American League Central, mediocre is good enough to keep you in the hunt.
Betancourt at 258 with 4 homers has driven in 15. Drove in 2 in the opener of this series. He leans back from ball 1. He's an aggressive hitter with only 5 walks this season. 3 for 9 in this series. Off the mask of Chris Snyder for a 1-1 count.
I think the whole game plan when you face a guy like Betancourt is throw strike 1 and then expand. Fell behind him, so challenged with the 1-0 offering. Betancourt a little behind it now. Time to go to work off the plate. Snyder trying to shake out the cobwebs.
Jordan Lyles has not won on the road in his major league career. He's lost his last 2 starts on the road that JD referred to, but his last start at home was a good one. He beat Cincinnati in that one. Snyder over for equipment repair, and he gave up 2 runs in 7 innings and winning that one 5-3 over the Reds on June 3rd.
It's yeah, I'll use this one for now. It's in the back room.
Bobby Meacham working with that mask.
What happened to that mask?
It broke. Billy Butler's on deck. Lyles with the curve gets a foul ball. That makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordan facing Kansas City for the first time in his career. He's 3-11 as a major league pitcher with a 5.40 earned run average. He won all 3 of his games here at Minute Maid Park in his career. 3-5 with a 4.68 in this ballpark. Curveball is hit softly toward the left field corner. J.D. Martinez running over, backhanding the ball and hanging on. Not much room there. Out number 2.
A bit for extra bases by Betancourt out in front of that breaking ball from Lyles. Looked like ultimately it was a foul ball when J.D. tracked it down. Or not. No, probably was a fair ball. Anyway, he's out.
He's out either way.
But again, I think you got to be a little careful there with a guy like Betancourt to leave that breaking ball in the zone. A guy who swings and misses as much as he does and chases as much as he does. No need to throw him strikes once you get ahead.
Strike to Billy Butler. He is a fine hitter, checking in at 303 with 13 homers, 41 runs batted in, leading the club in all 3 of those departments with a fine OPS as well of 884 for Billy, 26 years old.
Royals host the All-Star game this year. It'd be a big thrill for Butler to play in that game in his home stadium. You have to believe he's their best candidate.
Yeah.
Some guys in the bullpen having nice years. Tim Collins, perhaps, but I would think Butler would be the guy.
Butler's 3 for 8 with a homer in this series. It's a 1-ball 2-strike count to Butler. Billy's from Orange Park, Florida. 333 in interleague play for him with 4 bombs. The Royals are 7-7 in interleague play. Good looking pitch. Yeah. If he can do that, it's going to be a fun day for Jordan Lyles. He needs 10 pitches in the first inning to put up a 0. In the top of the inning. Now they're ready to applaud as the Astros come up in the bottom half with this Hyundai lineup for Brad Mills. Jose Altuve second base, Brian Pixler right field, Justin Maxwell center field, Carlos Lee first base, J.D. Martinez in left field, Jed Lowry the shortstop, Chris Johnson third base, Chris Snyder catcher, Jordan Lyles pitcher.
Veteran left-hander Bruce Chan works for the Kansas City Royals this afternoon. Bruce 5-6 with a 5.05 ERA so far this year. The Royals are his 10th major league team. It has been a long and winding road for this southpaw from Panama City, Panama, to get to this point. And defensively, he has Gordon, Dyson, and Francoeur in the outfield. Moustakas, Escobar, Betancourt, Butler, third to first. And Pena behind the dish as Humberto Quintero gets the day off.
Bruce Chen was with the Astros in 03 briefly. Facing Jose Altuve, 316 his average, 4 homers, 22 driven in. First pitch in the air on the infield. Escobar looks to Betancourt. 1 pitch, 1 out for Chen.
Chen average velocity on his fastball about 86 miles an hour. He doesn't throw it very often. He throws a lot of sliders, changeups, curveballs. He'll change his arm angle on you. And there you take a look at the well-traveled among the active major league players. Dotel, the 13, that's a record. Chen and Batista have been with 10 different clubs.
Brian Bixler getting the call in right field. Takes strike one. 313 for Brian. 1 homer. 5 runs batted in. And that first major league homer came in this series. 3 for 5 in this series. Big night in the opener Monday night. There's an 0-2 count now for Brian, who has hit well against lefties. 7 for 18. Numbers about the same against Chen, right-handed versus left-handed hitters for this season. In terms of batting average, but 8 homers by right-handed hitters, 1 by a left-handed batter. Bixler came in last night to pinch run and play third base after the 3-hit 3 RBI game Monday night. This is his 8th start with the Astros. He looks at ball 1. He's played 5 different positions for Houston this year. Played 162 major league games in his career, 7 different positions. He lines this one near the left field line. That one will bang off the wall. Kicked by the left fielder Gordon. And now that's an easy double for Bixler. He's going to take a turn and hold on there as Dyson gets to it. Double number 4 for Bixler. 4 for 6 in the series for Brian.
I'm trying to go down and away with a fastball and just cuts right back over the heart of the plate. And again, Chen, the kind of guy who cannot afford to make mistakes over the heart of the plate. Bixler makes him pay in a big way. Rocks this ball off the scoreboard.
Now Justin Maxwell has Bixler at second and 1 out.
Experience pays off playing that wall. You see a ball hit like that, you know you're not going to be able to make a play on it in the air. His plan is to retreat a few steps and get ready to play the carom.
237 for Justin with 8 homers. It's 2-0. Has a .487 slugging percentage with good power production for the at-bats he's had.
And a rough night last night. Struck out his final 3 times at bat. Was 0 for 4. And left runners on second and third in his final 2 at bats. So he's looking for a little redemption. But overall, of late, he's been swinging it quite well.
117 at bats. 2 balls and a strike. Brad Mills was asked about his starting lineup today. The fact that it's Maxwell in center against the lefty Chen. That's been the trend lately. Jordan Schaefer lately has been playing center field against right-handed pitching. And Ryan Bogusevic, also a left-handed batter, not playing today, with Bixler getting the call in right field against the lefty Chen. And right now, he's just trying to put the best guys out there for any given matchup. And then if somebody gets hot, he'll probably stay in for a while. It's not strictly a platoon arrangement, but of these outfielders, they're all in the mix in some fashion right now.
Yeah, I like the way Brad has handled that. I mean, he's giving everybody an opportunity. He's trying to play the matchup game the best he can. He's got a lefty out there. He wants to get some right-handed bats in the lineup.
You might call it, although he didn't use this term, JD, a meritocracy among the Astros outfielders. You have to earn your playing time. Swing and a miss, and Chen gets out number 2 via the strikeout. Now it's Carlos Lee.
You've got mostly a bunch of young guys who have yet to prove themselves at the big league level. He wants to give all of them a chance to do just that, to show, prove to me that you're the guy that should be in there every day, whether it's a righty or a lefty on the hill.
36 today, Carlos Lee with a .300 batting average. 62 at bats since he last went deep May 19th against the Rangers.
All of Panama locked in on this confrontation.
Oh, yeah. Carlos is from Agua Dulce, Panama. Chen, master of changing speeds, and he came up with the Braves and just had terrible mechanics. Carlos joins Dickie Thon, born on this date, Paul Goydos, Len Dawson, DeForest Kelly. Who's the last guy, JD? You always know who he is.
He's a Danish rower.
Oh, Danish
Finnish rower, excuse me.
Finnish rower. Okay.
Finnish.
2 balls and strike.
Don't want to upset the Finnish population out there.
You know, I've been checking our ratings, JD, and there's a large Finnish contingent watching our ball games, so we do not want to upset them at all today.
Kevin Tappan had Finnish roots.
Oh. 3 balls and a strike. Carlos came into the clubhouse, and his teammates had adorned his locker with a nice, colorful banner. Happy 56th birthday. And they put a wheelchair in his locker. Softly hit into shallow center, but Betancourt goes back for out number 3. No runs a hit and a man stranded. No score after 1. Broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. The World War II veteran watching. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for your service. Jordan Lyles has treated everybody to a quick 1-2-3 inning here at Minute Maid Park in the deciding game of this series. Tomorrow's an off day for the Astros. Then the Cleveland Indians are here over the weekend, and next week the San Diego Padres play a 4-game set here. The Royals lead off with Jeff Francoeur, their right fielder and cleanup man at .274 with 5 homers. There's strike 1 from Jordan Lyles. Francoeur has 3 hits in this series in 9 at-bats with an RBI. He goes for the high heat again.
Snyder's having a rough day.
He really is.
Now tip off the mask, now bat off the grill.
Yep. Knocked his mask askew as the bat came through. Francoeur has hit .330 in his last 26 games.
Going way up top. See how high Francoeur is willing to go. He's like Betancourt. He's a very aggressive hitter. Got more pop than Betancourt, so he's more dangerous.
One hopper, Chris Johnson in, and the curveball works for out number 1 for Lyles. The Royals are last in the league in drawing walks in the American League. They're up there to swing the bats. And now it's Mike Moustakas. Moustakas at .273 with 10 homers has driven in 33 runs. He has 1 hit in the 2 games of this series so far. 1 for 8. Strike 1.
Walks and they're next to last in runs scored. There may be a correlation.
There might be. Johnson moves further off the line. It's up the middle to Altuve's right. Throwing out Moustakas. 5 straight set down by Lyles. Greg Lucas is waiting. Greg,
I want to tell you about Chevy Hometown Kids. We talk about it every game. There's some hometown kids right there. It's a TV show, and it's on Fox Sports Houston every Sunday at 10 a.m., hosted by Emily Reppert. It's about kids' experiences. They get a chance to be exposed to everything from fishing to baseball clinics, to water polo, getting lessons from the U.S. team members, hockey, you name it. It's a fun show, and if you want more information on it, you can visit hometownkids.tv anytime.
Alcides Escobar looks at strike one. 295 is his average. He's gone deep once. He's driven in 19 runs. Got a big series, 4 for 8 for Escobar. Altuve comes in. And it's routine for Jordan Lyles, 6 in a row at the outset, needing only 8 pitches in the second inning for a total of 18 so far. No score.
Of the second, and the Astros are excited to welcome Grammy Award-winning and platinum recording artist Third Day for Faith and Family Night this Saturday. The concert will take place following the 3:05 game, and the concert is included with your game ticket. Tickets for Faith and Family Night featuring Third Day are available at astros.com/third. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. We just saw the Ham family that shot as you put up the graphic. Paul and Susan, their son Zach, and a friend. And the little friend, yeah, there they are. The guy on the far left was born in Kansas, and this is his first major league game. And really having a great time, as you can tell.
Zach's pounding that pizza.
He is. J.D. Martinez takes ball 1 from Bruce Chen. 223 for J.D.
Gave away hats today.
Yeah.
Old style Astro caps. Buzzword in the Astros dugout is patience. You got to be patient with Bruce Chen. He's going to nibble.
That's a strike, and it's 2-1 to J.D. Martinez.
Not really nibbling on that gum. He's wearing that out.
Yeah. Well, he didn't last long last time. There wasn't too much gum chewing on the mound. He only went 1 2/3 innings Saturday, threw only 40 pitches, gave up 6 runs in that game, including a pair of 2-run homers. But last year he was solid for this club. They signed him to a 2-year deal. Ground ball in the hole, backhanded, nope, on through for a clean single for J.D. Martinez. Hit number 2 for the Astros.
Escobar certainly capable of making that play, but kind of alligator armed this one a little bit. He's got enough arm to finish it, too.
True. So Martinez is aboard. Lowry the batter. Lowry is batting lower in the order than normal, hitting 6th because 268 overall, 13 homers, 30 runs batted in. Very respectable year, but right-handed not nearly as good so far for Jed as the left-handed side of the plate. And there's ball 1. So that's the thing managers have to consider about switch hitters. They're really two different people. And the right-handed Jed Lowry is hitting 196 with a 357 slugging percentage. Left-handed Lowry 294, 552 slugging percentage. Although typically in his career he's been about 100 points higher as a right-handed batter.
Yeah, it's like one of those movies where, you know, somebody takes over the body of somebody else, only it's the same guy. It's just right-handed Jed and left-handed Jed have traded places.
Fly ball, and Dyson's on his horse way back. Dyson with the catch on the warning track. JD Martinez was all the way to second base on a long out, number 1. Lowry unloaded.
Yeah, well, a very positive swing of the bat there because of the struggles Jed has had from the right side. Nice to see him drive the ball like this, and the speedster Dyson makes a fine play over the shoulder. JD's gone all the way to second base, giving himself a chance to score if that ball drops in, and had plenty of time to scramble back.
Chris Johnson is 2 for 7 in this series. Looking at strike 1 with a 271 average. He has 5 homers, 27 runs batted in. Chris Snyder's on deck. CJ was 2 for 4 last night. That snapped an 0 for 12 for him.
He broke up the no-hitter.
No balls, 2 strikes. Luke Hochevar.
What, 4th inning, 5th inning maybe?
Yeah, 5th inning. Hochevar had 4 1/3 no-hit innings, wound up with 7 2/3 innings, a 5-hit shutout ball in the 2-0 win. Johnson's down on strikes. That's number 2 for Chen.
CJ has been doing a pretty good job lately hitting the ball to right field. That time he pulled off this outside fastball. Chen, when shooting for the outside corner, has missed over the plate a number of times. This time he slots it over that outside edge. See Pena with positive feedback. That's where I want it, out there.
Chris Snyder gets a 2-out opportunity with a 200 average, 3 homers. He's driven in 17. Jason Castro did the catching last night. Chris started Monday night, had a hit, 2 walks, and an RBI. And the Houston native takes ball 1. He has 20 hits, 17 runs batted in this season. In tight, and that got him. So now the pitcher comes up, Lyles, with runners at first and second and 2 down. 4th hit batman for Chen this year.
Chen's got to make sure he does his work inside so he can get away with the soft stuff away. And this little cut fastball just clips Snyder on that left forearm. Lyles with an opportunity to help himself.
Jordan has 2 hits and 8 at bats, 1 RBI this season. In his career, he's 5 for 33 for a 152 average.
Royals really tighten up in the outfield here, which is a smart play. You know, Lyles is capable of hitting it over their heads out there, but he's much more likely to dump one in front of them, and a sharply hit ground ball or line drive to the outfield, they'll have a shot at throwing out JD Martinez as shallow as they're playing. So it's incumbent on JD to get a good aggressive secondary lead.
And that might cut into that lead.
Yeah, that's kind of the game within the game there. Pulling those outfielders. Try to tighten up that lead.
That's taken for a ball, and Lyles has a 1-1 count. Now, Bruce Chen had a birthday yesterday. He was 35. Carlos Lee with a birthday today. Chen is the oldest member of the Royals. Last year he was 12-8 for them with a 3.77 earned run average.
Doing some of the best work of his career after 30 years of age, coming up as a promising phenom, might be too strong of a word, but big time prospect with the Braves. Got to the big leagues at a very tender age, but really struggled to figure things out. Doesn't have the stuff he used to have, but now he knows how to pitch.
And he strikes out Lyles for number 3. No runs a hit, 2 men stranded, no score after 2.
Anderson Cancer Center making cancer history, and it was on this date in 1970 that Cesar Cedeno made his debut at 19, 2 for 5 in a 9-6 win over the Braves. Many people still think Cesar is the greatest all-around player to ever wear a Houston uniform. He played from the age of 19 through the age of 30, and overall in his career he hit .285, steals, bases, runs, made all the plays, and he debuted on this date in 1970, guys.
Big time talent. This moment in history brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Telling you about one of the tremendous athletes in Astros history.
He drew comparisons to Willie Mays as a young player coming up with the Astros.
Yes, he did. He was in that rare 20-50 club a couple of times. 20 homers, 50 steals. Brian Pena takes ball 1.
Playing in the Dome, too, where home runs were hard to come by.
Yes. 248 for Pena, switch hitting catcher with 1 homer, 12 runs batted in. And he gets a changeup at 81 for ball 2. Pena last year had quite a bit of playing time for Kansas City. 222 at bats. Came up with the Atlanta Braves, as did Chen.
Nissan.com provides our Fox tracks. Pena from Cuba.
Line shot through the left side. That's the first base runner for the Royals after 6 straight were retired by Lyles. He's aboard for Dyson. How about a little bit more on Cedeno? Played from 70 through 86. 70 through 81 with Houston. Then he went to Cincinnati. Solid career numbers. 487 steals with Houston, the all-time leader.
Finished his career with the Dodgers in 86.
Now it's Dyson, a good bunter, with Chris Johnson in on the grass at third, taking ball 1.
A pretty good postseason with the Cardinals, didn't he, in 85?
Yeah.
A couple big hits for them.
That was a good postseason for Cesar. Dyson can really move, as you could tell on that catch he made on Jed Lowry. Strike there. He is 1 for 6 with an RBI, a couple of walks in this series, filling in for the injured Lorenzo Cain, who's on a minor league injury rehab assignment right now. Braves 6, Yankees 2. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Yankee Stadium. Runner going in the air, and Maxwell's over to left center field as Brian Pena moves back the other direction. 1 out.
Dio's playing a little hit and run there, but the pop up forces Pena to scramble back to first. Braves beat the Yankees last night to snap their 10-game winning streak. It's Tommy Hanson and Phil Hughes in that game this afternoon. They were the starters. I assume Hughes is out of there.
Hanson's still in. See, David Ross hit his 3rd homer for the Braves. Martin Prado, number 5. Freddie Freeman, number 9. Jason Hayward, number 9. Chavez and Jeter have gone deep for the Yankees. Bruce Chen, a 149 hitter, around a bunt. Takes strike 1. Chen got a pinch hit in that 15-inning game Sunday. First Royals pitcher ever to get a pinch hit.
And yet Ned Yost has the audacity to ask him to bunt here.
And he fouls it. It's no balls, 2 strikes. We were hearing the story today from some of the Royals broadcasters that Chen told him about when he came up with Atlanta. His mechanics were really bad, and John Smoltz and company tried to work with him on smoothing things out with his delivery. He was born in Panama City, Panama, signed at age 16. Strike 3 call. Wiles gets his 2nd strikeout.
Got Butler looking at a fastball over the outside edge. Now it gets Chen, freezes him with a curveball. Not a good effort there by Bruce trying to get that bunt down.
Now it's Gordon. Hit that fly ball to left field his first time up. Gordon looks at it. It's ball 1 for Lyles. The Cleveland Indians made several outstanding plays in their win last night. Their walk-off win over the Reds and Aroldis Chapman on a home run by Asdrubal Cabrera. And they will be here Friday night to begin a brand new series.
Cleveland won game 1 of that series 10-9, and then walk-off 3-2 win yesterday. They play later on today. They play tonight in Cleveland.
Playing some exciting baseball the last few days. 2 balls and a strike. Cleveland is in first now, 1/2 game in front of the Chicago White Sox.
And just 3 games above 500, but all eyes in the Central on the Detroit Tigers, a prohibitive favorite coming into the season. They've started to play well.
Topped up the line to Carlos Lee, and he gets the out on Gordon to make it. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. After 2.5, no score in Houston. Third inning. They're jamming down there. Bruce Chen's warming up, and we step aside very briefly for our AT&T trivia question. Who led the Astros in wins in 2003, the year Bruce Chen was with the team? He was with the Astros part of that season. JD, I'm going to make a guess. Wade Miller.
Well, I'm not going to guess because I'm looking at the answer.
Okay, and that's not it?
That's not it.
Okay. Forget that guess. That wasn't good at all. Well, that year, Bruce Chen was with the Astros for a partial season. He was also with Boston. He only pitched 16 games in the majors that year, only 2 as a starter, and he didn't have a win that season himself. But then he went to Baltimore, and he became a 13-game winner in 2005. And won 12 for Kansas City in 2010 and 12 more last year for the Royals. Jose Altuve leads it off.
A poor man's Jamie Moyer. Late career success.
True. Up the middle, and Chen makes a good play with the glove for out number 1.
I'll give you folks a hint on this trivia question. The pitcher who led the Astros in wins that year collected 15/16ths of his major league win total that season.
Oh. It's Brian Bixler now. I'm thinking of a certain left-hander who was traded to Cleveland. Fly ball to center. Dyson backing. 2 outs. We were just talking about the Indians, and that was a great trade for the Astros with the Indians, involving the answer to this trivia question, Jeremy Robertson.
Jeremy, don't call me Jerry Ohm Robertson. 15-9 with a 5.10 ERA for the Astros that year. I mean, he was in the right place at the right time for one magical year.
That's true.
And then was 1-1 with the Tribe the following year in 8 relief appearances and never appeared in the big leagues again.
Justin Maxwell takes ball 1. He struck out on a 3-2 pitch in the first. Not to disparage Jeremy Robertson, but there were some games that year when he went 5 1/3 innings, left with a 5-3 lead and got the win. But hey, he won those games and he led the club. Then he was traded. Luke Scott was one of the guys the Astros got in that trade as he went to Cleveland. In the air, and center fielder Dyson moves in a little bit to take care of a 1-2-3 third on only 6 pitches for Chen. Well, these pitchers moving swiftly through the first 3 with no score.
Flashback Fridays. In fact, this Friday, the Astros will host the Indians, featuring the 1970s rainbow jerseys on the field. 10,000 fans receive a Craig Biggio Greatest Moments bobblehead. courtesy of Coca-Cola. And after the game, fans can enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. You can buy tickets at astros.com.
Fireworks always big. Look forward to it, Greg. Thank you. And no score here as the first pitch of the fourth inning is fouled back by Betancourt. He had a fly ball down the left field line caught by J.D. Martinez. And the Royals have just one base runner, a Pena leadoff single in the third. Yeah, those Indians were smacking into walls, making great catches last night in that win. And then a walk-off homer for Cabrera off the hard-throwing Aroldis Chapman. That was a thriller for Cabrera. He's one of the tribe, playing very well right now.
Well, he knew he was going to get something to hit. Pedro Serrano was on deck. Chapman wanted no part of the big guy.
In the air, and Lyles moves over for it. Let's see, Snyder and Lee are galloping over, and Lee takes care of it. Fair ball, 1 out. El Caballo moving in on his 36th birthday to make that catch. And now it's Billy Butler. Butler struck out looking in the first inning. How about Glovegate last night? Did you see it?
Oh, I read about that.
Oh,
Peralta?
it is on with Davy Johnson and Joe Madden. Yeah, Peralta was tossed out of the game for having pine tar in his glove. He had pitched for the Nationals last year, so his teammates knew that he did that. And Davy Johnson went out to the mound and had the umpires inspect that glove. When Tampa Bay brought Peralta in, they threw him out of the game for using pine tar.
I would have done the same thing if I were Davey.
Okay.
And if I were one of Peralta's old teammates, I might have said, hey, man, I wouldn't be using that glove against us. We know what you got out there.
Right. And then Madden retaliated. There's a strike for Lyles. That makes it 2-1 for Jordan. And then he had an inspection of one of the Nationals relievers later on in the game. And there was nothing found on that relief pitcher, of course. Madden really went off after the game.
Did he really?
He was hot.
How come?
He said, look, there was pine tar in his glove. We don't dispute that. But to pull a stunt like that, you know, and to he went off.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprised.
Very, very unhappy with Davy Johnson. Chop to shortstop. Lowry takes care of it. 2 outs.
Peralta not the only pitcher that goes out there with a little pine tar on his glove, but if you're the opposing manager and you're in a pennant race, you know a guy's got it. I would have done it if I were Davy Johnson.
Okay. A.J. Burnett is hot. Jim Johnson having a nice month. Trevor Plouffe with 9 homers. Peralta not so much. And the Marlins have done a reversal. They're 4-12 in June.
They've been very streaky.
Well, Butler is arguing now. He's saying something to the home plate umpire about something. Dan Bellino. Yeah.
Let's see what happened. He was rung up his first time up. I don't know if there was a pitch in that sequence that he's not happy with.
Bellino is watching. Like that little TV commercial where the baby says, I'm watching you watching him. All eyes are on Butler right now, and it's Jeff Francoeur.
Maybe did he ask for time and not get it, perhaps?
Not sure.
This is after the fact, so we don't know what caused this little skirmish.
No.
Greg, go over there and ask Butler what he's mad about.
Greg Lucas is on the field, and he will get this story.
Have him doing like an army crawl across behind home plate and sneak over there.
You're about as close as I am, way down here by first base.
Well, but when he comes out to play first, you could ask him.
Okay, I'll yell out there. And, that's what that'll work.
Have Meach ask him, and then Meach can relay to you what was going on, and we'll get the story straight here.
We know that you have a very collegial atmosphere out there with the players when they go out to their positions. Ground ball backhanded. Chris Johnson over to first, and it's a 1-2-3-4. Jordan Lyles really something through 4. Billy Butler's hot, and it's 0-0.
Jack in the Box. Right now, try the new Chipotle Chicken Club. Make it a combo with fries and a drink. Buy the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Mattress Firm. Save money, sleep happy.
Little lunch here at Minute Maid Park. Well, the hitters haven't feasted on much. There have been only 3 hits in this game. And it's 0-0 as the home fourth brings Carlos Lee up to the plate for the second time. He popped a second on a 3-1 count in the first inning.
There are a lot of numbers in this game that help tell the story, that make a lot of sense. Left versus right, things of that nature. Some of them I have a hard time buying into. So into the category for what it's worth, Bruce Chen has a .931 ERA in day games so far this year. 5 starts. I don't put a whole lot of credence into that particular statistic. We just happen to have bad games on those particular days. Or maybe 1 or 2 really bad ones.
Top foul. But do you ascribe to the theory that most people are either day people or night people?
Well, to a degree, but I don't know that it affects performance for a pitcher that much.
Okay. Carlos smacks one to left center field. Dyson back. 1 out for Chen. Vin Mazzaro was in line to start this game, but he's been moved back to Friday night. The Royals are going back home to play St. Louis. And Chen is working on 3 days rest. J.D. Martinez singled to left in the second inning, but in view of the fact he threw only 40 pitches on Saturday, doesn't seem to be affecting him at all. Curveball is good for strike 1. It might affect how long he stays in this game, however. But he has not thrown many pitches so far. 1-1.
No, given as short as his last outing was, I think it's probably to his benefit to be out there today. Get back on the hill.
Out to left center field. Dyson way back, watching this one fly. And that one bangs high off the wall. And that's going to be a double for J.D. Martinez, his 7th of the year. Almost hit it out.
Chen is a fly ball pitcher, and this is a big fly. Just about gets out of here. And that's a tough pitch. Changeup. Outer third and down a little bit. You get an idea of how strong J.D. is. He had to reach down and get that one and just missed driving it out of here.
Paid a visit to Papa John's with that double. He's in scoring position for Jed Lowry. Lowry sent the ball a long way to right center field. It was caught by Dyson in the second inning. There is strike 1. Lowry facing a pitcher in Chen who beat the Astros and Andy Pettit back in 05 when he was with the Orioles, with 7 shutout innings in that one at Baltimore.
Chen really breaks down the video, watches a lot of video. He's a very, very cerebral guy.
The Astros beat him 2 years ago, June 16th in Kansas City, 4-2. Carlos Lee had an RBI single in that one. It's 2-2. Or let's see, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now with Chris Johnson on deck.
Chen made his debut way back in 1998 with the Braves.
That one hit Lowry. First it looked like a foul ball, but it hit his right arm. So he's hit by the pitch, looking down at that right elbow area, and it's first and second, 1 out for the Astros for Chris Johnson.
Very similar to the pitch that hit Chris Snyder, a little cutter in.
Three batsmen today, 5 for the season for Chen. CJ struck out in the second inning. Chen, when he was with the Braves, was attending Georgia Tech, taking engineering classes. Now trying to engineer his way out of this first and second one-out jam with Chris Snyder on deck. 51 pitches for Chen. The Royals bullpen has been restored with some rest after that 15-inning 5-hour extravaganza on Sunday. Foul back, strike one.
They got a season high 7 2/3 out of Hochevar last night. 6 innings from Sanchez in the first game of the series.
Jonathan Broxton came in to get the save last night. Aaron Crow worked to only one batter, so their relievers are back to being fairly well rested again after being stretched beyond belief. Big cut there, and it's no balls, 2 strikes for Chris Johnson.
And that has allowed the Royals to make a roster move, sending Lewis Coleman, the right-handed reliever who we saw in game 1. He's been sent out to the AAA club. And they've activated Irving Falou.
Irving Falou's quite a story. He spent 9 years in the minor leagues. He was with the Royals for the first time in the majors earlier this season. Now back for another stint.
Switch hitting infielder.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sounds like a newsman or something. Irving Falou
yes.
on the case.
Irving Falou reporting from Baghdad. Back to you in the studio.
A bad case of Irving Falou. CJ hasn't gone deep in a long time. This would be the time to do it. 90+ at bats.
Not
up there. No food up there.
Strikeout number 4 for Chen.
We talked about it earlier. Patience is the key with a guy like Chen. He looks hittable because he doesn't throw real hard, doesn't have great movement on his fastball. But you got to force him into the zone. He's a 4 quadrants guy. Up and in, down and away to both right and left-handed hitters.
That must be his engineering expertise, JD.
Yeah, he knows all about the angles.
Snyder was hit by the pitch in the second inning. Jordan Lyles on deck. He's going to feel that responsibility of driving in a run or 2 right here. As a number 8 hitter, and smacks that one foul for strike 1. Usually a number 8 guy like Chris, he's thinking, I've got to be the guy here, and I'm going to maybe swing at a marginal pitch with a pitcher on deck in order to try to get this runner home from second.
And that is especially the case if you have a pitcher who can't handle the bat at all. Lyles does swing it pretty well, so you have to use some degree of judgment when you're the 8-hole hitter, depending on who's behind you. You got a pitcher that can handle a little bit. Maybe you're not quite as aggressive, because sometimes you're better off just moving the line, even if you don't get that run in. If you take a walk, at least it clears the pitcher's spot in the batting order. But yeah, you're right. Usually anything around the plate, you're looking to hack here in an RBI situation.
We mentioned Chen working on 3 days rest. Now Jim Tracy of the Rockies is going to go to a 4-man rotation, but he's going to limit the starters to about 80 pitches, working on 3 days rest.
I like it. Any kind of out of the box thinking we can get with how pitchers are handled now.
Well, the media asked him about it before the game last night, and he said, we're 15 games under 500. We have to try something. And then they went out and lost.
Well, if you don't have depth in your rotation, if you like the makeup of your bullpen, you think you have a better chance of competing that way. I think there's some clubs would be better served going to a 6-man rotation. Other clubs may be better with a 4. It's always been a herd mentality in baseball. Just because one club goes to a 5-man rotation doesn't mean everybody has to, but it's been the norm for a good long while now.
Snyder fouls it back. Well, it was interesting to see that development today on one of the highlight shows, because you were asking Jim Tracy when we were in Colorado about 3 weeks ago. Have you ever considered maybe using pitchers for 3 innings at a time? The starter would go 3, and he said, yeah, we've looked at it.
I've always thought it would be interesting to see if a team could pull it off if you just had a staff full of 2 and 3 inning guys and you rotate them, because it's so hard for hitters when every at bat is off a different kind of pitcher.
Sure.
You need, you know, like I said, it would be experimental, and there's a lot of issues you'd have to sort through in terms of availability and how quickly guys could come back.
Well, Brad Mills said, sure, you know, managers look at things like that, and they try to assess whether that would work with their personnel on their club. But he didn't dismiss it. Snyder's down on strikes. That's number 5 for Chen, and he leaves 2 men on base and keeps the game scoreless.
Minute Maid, time now for your Mazda CX-5 game break. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Well, the final interleague series of the season gets underway on Friday when the Cleveland Indians come to town. Cleveland starts today a half game up in first place in the American League Central. They'll be facing Lucas Harrell on Friday. Harrell suffered the same fate up in Arlington in his last start that Keuchel and Lyles did, in that he was pitching with a 3-0 lead and gave up 1 big inning, 5 runs in the 6th, and suffered the loss. But body of work for Harrell this year has been pretty good. He's tied for the team lead with 6 wins. He's pitched 81.2 innings, and that's second most for a rookie in the big leagues. That's your game break. Let's go back to Brownie and JD.
Thank you, Bart. In fact, it's a real oddity for Jordan Lyles. In his last 2 starts, he's gone 4 shutout innings and then given up 5 in the 5th. Here's the 5th inning, and it's Mike Moustakas in the air, and the new center fielder Jordan Schaefer goes back, and it's over his head and up on Towles Hill. Extra bases for Moustakas, and he cranks a double leading off the 5th inning. Schaefer just entered the game for Justin Maxwell, and we haven't gotten an announcement yet on why Maxwell left.
You just don't want this 5th inning to become a psychological hurdle for Lyles to have to get over, but it's been back-to-back rough 5ths for him, and this one starts with a leadoff double as Moustakas drives this ball over the head of Schaefer. New guy in the game, they always find you in a hurry, it seems.
It's amazing how often that works. That's 16 doubles for Moustakas. Carlos Lee comes over to talk. Escobar, the batter. Escobar grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. So Justin Maxwell left the game after going 0 for 2. And Schaefer has replaced him in center with Pena on deck now. And the bunt is missed. There's strike 1 to Escobar.
Wow, so they're trying to sacrifice him over to third base here for their 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters in the 5th inning.
Okay. Escobar has 3 sacrifice bunts. They must really think Chen is going to be dynamite today. They can get 1 run, and that'll get him over. Chop slowly. Altuve over to lead. And that gets it done. It's not a sacrifice. Escobar grounding out. Moustakas to third, one out.
And it may be that Escobar was thinking about bunting on his own there, and he may have gotten a memo from the third base coach. Hey, go ahead and swing it.
Ryan Pena lined a single into left field to become the first Kansas City base runner. That was in the third inning. Dyson is on deck. Astros infield comes in now. Dave Clark positioning his outfielders. He's moving Schaefer over more toward left center. In tight for ball one. Pena hits one slowly. Runner coming home. It gets over Lyles. Lowry takes the out at first, and it's 1-0. Just over the glove of Lyles, and that gave Moustakas a chance to score the first run. And he gets his 13th run batted in.
Well, after the leadoff double, the key is just don't let it explode, turn into a big inning. Lyles would have had a tough play to make anyway. Even if he gloves this one, by the time he comes down and gets into a throwing position, it would have been a difficult play to make, and a play that sometimes you would hurry and make an errant throw. So it may be for the best that that ball got beyond him out to Lowry.
Dyson bunts foul. Strike one. He hit a fly ball to center in the third inning. Gerard, a 50th round draft choice of the Royals in 06. Milwaukee 5, Toronto 1 after 3. Pitches upstairs, 1-1.
And Lyles, not just those last two starts, but he's had a number of big innings against them this year in games where he otherwise was very, very good. I think if you could throw out 3 or 4 of his innings, have an ERA around 3.
2-1. One thing that's happened in those big innings is he's elevated the ball a little bit more, but he's had some bad fielding support as well. Fly ball left center. J.D. Martinez without number 3. He limits it to 1 run, 1 hit for Kansas City, and Chen and the Royals lead it after 4.5, 1-0. Coming right after the Farmers Insurance report card on that man, Jose Altuve, who will be batting second in the bottom of the 5th inning. Altuve ranks 4th in the National League with a .375 batting average against left-handed pitching. And he'll be up second after Jordan Lyles leads it off. Lyles struck out with 2 men on to end the 2nd inning, and then Chen got tough again in the 4th. He had 2 men on with 1 out and struck out Johnson and Snyder. done his best work when those guys have been in scoring position. The Astros also had a 1-out double in the first, and he struck out the next guy, Maxwell, and then got Lee on a pop-up. Miles looks at it. It's strike one to Jordan. Bud Norris was to throw a light bullpen before the game today. That was after Brad Mills talked with the media. So assuming that went well, he will start Saturday for AAA Oklahoma City on a rehab stint. No balls, 2 strikes. Bud will be headed out for the weekend. Strikeout number 6. Getting an announcement now on Justin Maxwell and why he left the game.
Sprained ankle.
Oh. Okay. Fernando Martinez is doing better and better with his concussion syndrome. It's a left ankle sprain for Justin Maxwell, forcing him from this game. Fernando might be headed for AAA Oklahoma City either Friday or Saturday. Altuve, who's 0 for 2, looks at strike one. It's 1-1. Bixler's on deck. Chen has needed 64 pitches to this point. Showing bunt. Altuve takes a big breaker, and it's inside for ball 2. Travis Buck has started his rehab assignment. He's played the last 2 nights for Corpus Christi. He's had tendonitis in his right Achilles. He'll go up to AAA next. That's out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ubaldo Jimenez pitches for the Indians here Friday night against Lucas Harrell at 7:05. Joe Morgan throwing out the first pitch. Fly ball to right center. Dyson cutting over. 2 outs.
He went a long way for that one as it continued to slice away from him, and Francoeur was not really in the neighborhood.
He's covering more ground than Lake Conroe. Now Brian Bixler. Bixler doubled to left and flied to center. Dallas Keuchel pitches Saturday. That's a 3:05 start Saturday, JD.
Yeah.
Against Jean-Marc Gomez.
Frenchman?
Probably is. There's strike one. Sounds like a Frenchman. Sunday it's Jay Happ and Derek Lowe. Derek Lowe and Dusty Baker, enemies. No balls, 2 strikes. Mike Fultonevich started the South Atlantic League All-Star game last night. He's at Class A Lexington. Went 2 scoreless, hitless innings. He leads the league in wins. He's 9-1 and is second in ERA, 2.13. Right at the shortstop, Escobar. Whoops, you get turned around a little bit, but got him for a 1-2-3 5th inning, and it's 1-0 Kansas City after 5.
Royals, time now to introduce you to our progressive fans of the game, and we've got Michael and Amy Ryan, and you tweeted me, asked me to be fans of the game, and tell me what's the special occasion today.
We are celebrating our 3rd anniversary today. Happy anniversary, sweetie.
Oh, how appropriate. Just when the kiss cam has been on, too. I'm not going to make you kiss on camera, but you don't look quite as thrilled about being here for your anniversary as he does.
It's fine. It's better than going to work. It was actually my idea, so...
good wife.
I'm a good wife. Yeah.
There you go. Of course, it's only 3 years in. Let's give her some time. I know you said you're a big Astro fan. Tell me about some of your favorite Astro memories.
I enjoyed watching Biggio and Bagwell growing up, and then as they got to the World Series and beat the Cardinals in the NLCS in 05, that was pretty cool. Pretty awesome.
All right, we guys have some great seats here. Enjoy the game. And again, you are our progressive fans of the game. Happy anniversary to Michael and Amy.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Bruce Chen, the batter, he fouls it away over into that section to take the count to 1-2.
Big guy had a chance. He booted it. It's right there. It was right there. Could have been a contender.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Could have been somebody. I got a Royal hat. Got it.
Now a full count, and Lyles had not thrown more than 5 pitches to any batter until now. Strike 3.
Borderline. You got away with it.
Good diplomacy by Bruce Chen. He wants that same call.
Yeah. He's a fun guy. He has a lot of fun playing the game. There it is, number 6, borderline high. You see the body language of Lyles. He's like, oh man, I don't want to walk the pitcher here. Why did I throw that 2-2 hook?
Gordon comes up next. He's 0 for 2. First pitch change up for strike 1.
Good time through. Not a bad idea to mix it up a little bit.
It's a 1 ball 1 strike count. The Royals won 2-0 last night. They lost 9-7 the night before. 12 of their last 13 games have been determined by 2 runs or 1 run.
You know, we talked earlier about Lyles' ERA and how he's had these big innings contribute to his high ERA. But the other part of the Jordan Lyles story, maybe the biggest part of it so far this year at the big league level, is just the clubs he's had to pitch against and the venues in which he has pitched. He's had very few what you might term easy games.
Smash to right center field. Extra bases for Gordon. And he's around second, digging for third. It takes a while to get the ball back in. Stand-up triple for Gordon, his first triple of the year. And he's there with 1 out for Betancourt.
Yeah, it was a leadoff double last inning, and then Moustakas advanced to third base on the ground ball from Escobar. Now Gordon able to get all the way to third base with this 1-out triple as he splits the gap in right center, and then it rolls all the way to the wall at the edge of the Astros bullpen out there, 420 feet away. Anyway, to finish my point on Lyles, it's been, 2 starts against the Rangers, 1 against the White Sox in their ballpark, 2 against the Reds, one of the better hitting clubs in all of baseball. So he's had some tough matchups before finally getting a club that doesn't have a lot of firepower here in his own ballpark.
Infield in. That was strike 1 to Betancourt. Grounder foul. Watch out. Gordon hit the deck. 0-2. He went sprawling.
A screamer.
Boy. Right between him and the third base coach, Eddie Rodriguez.
Stay away from that plate. There you go. This is a situation where you're definitely pitching for a strikeout with that man on third. You're trying to keep this ball out of play.
Betancourt drove in 68 for Milwaukee last year. The year before, he had 78 runs batted in for Kansas City.
Doesn't strike out a lot. Talking about him being not a disciplined hitter. He chases a lot of balls, but he makes a lot of contact.
Billy Butler's on deck. This is a really important hitter for Lyles. Runner coming home. Lowry can't play it, and it's 2-0 Kansas City. Looked like he peeked at the runner Gordon, who came home to score on the error by Lowry, his 7th of the year, allowing Betancourt to reach.
The other part of the Jordan Lyles story in these recent starts, it seems like there's one big misplay contributing to a big inning. Hopefully Jordan can limit the damage here. Absolutely. Jed, with his eye on that base runner as he sprinted home, he was going on contact and a clean handle there, and they probably would have had him at home plate.
Snyder was waiting for the throw that never came. Now it's Butler. Butler takes strike one.
It's the same pitch he used to finish Butler off in his first at bat, and that's the pitch that he wasn't able to make in that big inning against the Rangers last time out. Couldn't get that fastball down and away to the right-handed hitters.
Chop to Altuve. Gets a big bounce. Lowry. And then on to Lee for a 4-6-3 double play. The Royals get a run on one hit, one error. And in the middle of the 6th inning, it's Kansas City 2, Houston 0. Run unearned there. It was an RBI apparently for Betancourt. We'll check. It was an RBI for Betancourt on the run that Gordon scored. But just looking at the unearned runs Jordan Lyles has allowed this year coming into this game, 7 for the season. Jordan Schaefer gets it started in the home 6th inning. He replaced Justin Maxwell, who left with a sprained left ankle. Schaefer batting for the first time in this game. Schaefer's hitting .236. He has 2 homers, 16 runs batted in. Around a bunt. Chen delivers, and it's strike one for Bruce. Royals shut out the Astros last night 2-0. They continue their stranglehold on the Astros hitters today so far. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. That was the 5th time the Astros have been blanked in a game this season. Showing bunt again. He takes it.
Chen dropping that arm angle a little bit. Deals with the first left-handed batter he's had to face in this ball game. Schaefer's not done much at all against lefties this year. That's why he's been relegated to the bench in recent games against left-handed starters.
3-1 to Jordan.
Well, Astros down a couple runs. Just any way to get on base. Work a walk, that would be just fine. 118 average. That's 4 hits and 34 at bats.
Bounce foul. Bobby Meacham with the play. Schaefer's 0 for 4 in this series. 154 in the month of June. He's had several different health issues. Taking ball 4.
Good job.
Yes, it was. That's the first walk from Chan. He's hit 2 batters.
Well, that's the point I was making the other day. Sometimes it's a good idea to put a left-handed bat in there against a lefty just to change the look a little bit. It's used to throwing to all right-handed hitters. It gets into a rhythm. It's a good idea to break that up.
Carlos Lee popped to second and flied to center. 3 hits for each club. In the dirt, Pena comes up with it. Ball 1. Lyles allowed 2 unearned runs in his last start. 1 the start before that. He gave up 2 unearned in Colorado and 2 unearned in Philadelphia. So he has not had very good fielding support. 2 balls, no strikes. Both these runs are considered to be earned in this game. High to left field. It's hooking and going foul. 2 balls and a strike.
Chen got away with a hanger there. It's a floating changeup. Where the target is, look where the ball ends up. Almost never endorsed that letter high changeup. Comes right back, trying to slot that heater over the outside edge.
3 balls and a strike.
If he throws a fastball here, it'll be a cutter. It'll be something moving in. Looks like he's going to come with a slider.
Runner going. Line foul.
It's kind of interesting because that's what we were told before the game, that with the right-handed hitters, he'll throw changeups and cutters, sliders, just running in on them, and he'll induce a lot of hard ground balls down that left side. We've seen a number of them here today.
Jimmy Paredes had a couple more hits for the Oklahoma City Red Hawks last night, including his 6th home run. Red Wallace had 2 hits, so did Mike Hessman, and Oklahoma City won it over Nashville 10-6. Paredes putting together quite a year. Throw goes over to first on Schaefer.
Pretty good chance Schaefer's moving here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Carlos rarely strikes out.
Corpus Christi, Jared Cosart works 7 shutout innings. Runner going, and it's a ball. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks bring up J.D. Martinez, who's 2 for 2 in this game.
Just good awareness there on the part of Carlos, realizing that Chen's not going to give in to him in that situation. Carlos not biting on that breaking pitch. Dave Island's the pitching coach for the Royals. He's on the horn. Nice bounce back start for Chen here this afternoon after getting knocked around by the Cardinals last time out.
He's thrown 82 pitches. The Astros are 0 for 5 in this game with runners in scoring position. J.D. Martinez singled to left and doubled to left. Broken bat roller out to short. Escobar tossing Betancourt, the middleman, on a 6-4-3 double play. That one broke a bat. Schaefer at third, but Chen made his pitch again to a right-handed hitter inside.
J.D. had come into this at bat with a perfect day going, a base hit. Doubly crushed last time, but Chen beats him here. Neat ground ball, easy double play. Now it's up to Jed Lowry to salvage something out of this inning that moments ago was so promising.
Lowry hit a warning track fly ball to right center in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Looping curve misses, and it's ball one to Lowry.
Royals bullpen has a 2.97 ERA, fifth best in the American League.
That went in tight on Lowry. Yeah, and Astros hitters say all those guys in the Royals bullpen throw 95 or better.
Their starters ERA 4.86, second to last in the league, better only than the Twins. Twins starting rotation has an ERA over 6. That's in that great pitcher's ballpark in Minnesota too.
Yeah.
Jed Lowry's hit more home runs than any other major league shortstop. Better than Hardy, better than Desmond.
3-1. Lowry would love to tie this ball game with another one right here. Kelvin Herrera's warming up for the Royals. He's one of those extreme hard throwers. He gets it up around 100. Ground ball, and there's a layout by Escobar, but no play on Lowry, and he gets an RBI infield hit to make it 2-1 Kansas City now. Good effort by Escobar, but Lowry picks up his 31st run batted in. Escobar getting everything squared away after that diving attempt.
Well, big 2-out knock there for Jed Lowry. The frustration factor in the Astros dugout has to be running pretty high right now after last night. Couple big opportunities in the later stages of the ball game. Eluded them, and now tonight, or this afternoon rather, not able to get anything going against Chen. Double play looks to clean up this inning, but now a little ground ball single, and they're on the board.
Chris Johnson has struck out twice. Looking for more here as Lowry is back on that throw over to first. Jed has 2 steals and as many tries. Chris Snyder on deck. That was hit number 4 for the Astros. The Royals have 3. Milwaukee 5, Toronto 1. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Miller Park. Corey Hart hit his 15th. The Blue Jays had 2 players who went back-to-back twice last night with homers. Rasmus and Bautista. That's ball one to Johnson.
Bautista up to 22 home runs now.
Yeah. I think they were the first major league team to do that since the 05 Astros. Toss over to first.
He's treating Jed Lowry like he's Vince Coleman.
It sure is. Vince was one of those speedy Royals. Well, they had some outstanding speed merchants on their club years ago. Willie Wilson and company. Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the game certainly has turned once again in that direction now. Yankees have scored a run in the bottom of the 7th inning. They still trailed Atlanta 6-5. They're still batting in the 7th. A-Rod hit his 11th home run.
Chen's thinking, if I keep going over here, he'll come and get me and bring that reliever in. What's Ned Yost thinking? There's a dangerous right-handed hitter in the box.
He's at 90 pitches. Might be getting pretty close to being out of gas. 2 balls and a strike. Working on 3 days rest is a different consideration for a manager. And another throw over.
I don't know if it's conscious on his part, but if I'm Ned Yost, I'm starting to think along the lines that Chen doesn't trust his stuff right now to compete with the hitter. Or maybe Ned's calling all the pickoff throws.
Foul back. 2-2. He's probably thrown as many to first as he has to the plate in this inning. Two pitches in the game after a 22-pitch sixth inning, and still not out of this one yet.
23 cities this guy has called home in his professional career between the minor leagues and the big leagues.
23?
23. That's not counting any kind of rehab assignments due to injury. But coming up through the farm system with the Braves, and then throughout his big league career at times up and down to the minor leagues. They're the big league cities.
He's probably an expert on rental furniture, JD.
He's like Kevin Bacon. Everybody's played with Bruce Chen.
Bouncer between the third baseman and shortstop. Finds a hole into left field. CJ wins a long battle, getting Lowry to second base and bringing up Snyder. And will Chen stay in this game?
And sometimes it's difficult for a hitter to concentrate, to maintain his focus throughout an at-bat when the pitcher's continually going over to first base. But CJ does a nice job staying back just long enough on this breaking ball and then muscling it through the hole between third and short.
Ned Yost is out to make a double switch. Eric Hosmer's coming off the bench and warming up. And he's headed for first base. Billy Butler coming off the field. There will be a relief pitcher coming in as well. It's 2-1 Kansas City. Back in a moment.
The Indians, featuring the 1970s rainbow jerseys on the field. 10,000 fans receive a Craig Biggio Greatest Moments bobblehead, too, courtesy of Coca-Cola. That bobblehead is the second in a set of 7 Greatest Moments bobbleheads. So buy your tickets at Astros.com and see us out here. Of course, tomorrow is an off day, and that game on Friday will resume the season against the Indians. There's the changes. There's Browning.
Eric Hosmer is the change at first base, replacing Billy Butler there. He's batting in the 9 spot in the lineup. And replacing the number 3 hitter, Billy Butler, is Kelvin Herrera. He's 0-1 with a 3.22 ERA.
He's kind of a right-handed version of Billy Wagner, just 5'10". But according to Fangraphs, his average fastball this year is 98.7 miles per hour.
Ooh. Chris Snyder, the batter. Fouls it. No, he swings and misses. Then the ball gets away from Pena. Runners advancing to second and third. Pass ball on Pena.
You see the late life, the movement, and Pena has the glove turned the wrong way and just clanks it. After catching Chen all afternoon, he just wasn't ready for that 98.
Chen threw 94 pitches, 59 of them strikes. Walked 2, hit 2 batters, struck out 6.
That's a huge break right there for the Astros. Little base hit now, and the Astros can take the lead.
Herrera last pitched on Sunday at St. Louis, 1 hitless inning. Snyder puts that in the air and foul.
Snyder geared for the fastball, gets the head out in front of that 97 that was up in the zone. You would think, given this guy's stuff, that he would live with that heater, but he doesn't. He throws his curveball and throws a lot of changeups.
From the Dominican, 22 years old. The Royals signed him as a free agent in 06. Got his first taste of the big leagues with only 2 appearances last year for Kansas City.
Here comes the changeup.
And he gets a strikeout on it to end the threat in the Astros 6th inning. And it's 1 run scoring on 2 hits with 2 men stranded after 6. Kansas City 2, Houston 1.
Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Hyundai. If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. Action moves the 7th inning. Jordan Lyles is pitching a really nice one tonight, back on the mound. And let's go back to the booth with Bill Brown and Jim Boucher.
Thanks, Greg. Lyles gave up that run in the 6th inning, a 1-out triple by Gordon, and then an error by Lowry. It was considered to be an earned run on Betancourt's grounder to Lowry. So in 6 innings, he's allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And he trails 2-1 as he goes to the 7th inning with Jeff Francoeur, the batter. Twice he's grounded to third baseman Chris Johnson.
Starting in with a breaking ball here. Francoeur has seen a lot of high fastballs, pitches up out of the zone that he's been willing to go after.
Bouncer goes foul as Wesley Wright warms up for Houston. It's 1-1.
People probably wondering, well, why is that an earned run when Lowry made the error on that ground ball? But the official scorer could not assume that the out was going to be recorded at home plate.
We can assume it, but he can. 1 and 2.
You could think it was highly likely.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lyles is at only 73 pitches. 50 have been strikes.
Both he and Chen today doing a real nice job attacking the strike zone, working quickly.
That little fella's a happy guy right now. Foul back. Chen in 5 2/3 innings allowed 5 hits, 1 run, walking 2, fanning 6, hitting 2 batters. And he's in line for win number 6 of the year. Ball to shortstop. Lowry One down. And Moustakas follows. He scored the first run with a leadoff double in the 5th inning, advancing on a grounder and then scoring on a grounder.
Sounds like something you would get for dessert over at Nico Nikos.
Yeah.
Give me a little Moustakas and a cup of coffee.
It does. Alex Grammas, remember that name?
Sure.
They called him the Golden Greek. Haven't heard of any move to call Mike Moustakas anything Greek.
Just Moose.
Just Moose. Changeup moves in for a strike. That makes it 1-1. Brian McTaggart, writing on MLB.com and Astros.com, interviewed General Manager Jeff Luhnow today. Ball 2 about the Roger Clemens situation. And Jim Crane, the Astros owner, has reached out to the 7-time Cy Young Award winner about getting involved in the organization. Jeff Luhnow would love to have Roger. Fly ball to right field. Moustakas retired, and Luhnow pointed out in the interview with Brian McTaggart that it's great to have former players who have had success in the major leagues working for the organization, and especially with Roger's pitching expertise. There's a lot of what we're trying to teach the pitchers, he says, with respect to the delivery, the approach to the game, and the work ethic, and he's excelled at all that. Escobar, the batter, he's grounded out twice. Nice sized crowd today with all the youngsters. 30,687.
Wow, it's one of the better crowds of the year.
It sure is.
A lot of campers here today.
A lot of happy campers. 1-1. They'd be even happier if the Astros could win this game, but with that Royals bullpen, sometimes it's tough to put that one on the board. Foul back. 1-2.
Well, win or lose, Jordan Lyles has had a very nice afternoon here. Good bounce back start after a couple of rough ones. He's been able to avoid the big inning that has plagued him in those recent starts.
Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lyles is due to lead off the bottom of the inning. He's thrown only 83 pitches. Brad Mills' bullpen again in good shape. Bouncer goes foul. Now, Brett Myers had not worked for 4 days, and then he came in and struggled, giving up 8 hits and 5 runs here Monday night. And Xavier Cedeno came in and got the save in the 9-7 win, getting a bases loaded out. Struck him out. Lyles buzzes through the Royals in the 7th inning to keep this game close. Kansas City 2, Houston 1. Ubaldo Jimenez, the former Ronchi, going against Lucas Harrell. That's Friday night, 6:30 for Astros Live. Then it's Janmar Gomez and Dallas Keuchel. Saturday, that's a 2:30 time for Astros Live. Sunday, it's a 12:30 Astros Live show. And Derek Lowe opposes Jay Happ in that game.
So the Astros with a very left-leaning rotation right now. Keuchel, Happ, and Wandy.
Yeah.
Last time around, they went back to back in the rotation. Well, when's the last time that happened? Where the Astros had 3 consecutive starts from a southpaw.
Can't remember, JD. Jordan Lyles is coming out of the game. Pinch hitter Brian Bogusevic is batting for him after an outstanding day. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, one of the better efforts we've seen from an Astros starting pitcher this year. Very clean game.
85 pitches, 58 strikes. Bogusevic is 4 for 8 with 2 runs batted in. Pinch hitting. Looking at ball 1 from Kelvin Herrera. Herrera came in to strike out Chris Snyder with runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 6th inning. Bogusevic fouls it. 1-1. The Astros bench has been outstanding this year. Jose Mijares is getting loose.
It's a bit of bad luck, for Lyles when you allow 3 hits, no walks, yet 2 of them come around to score.
It is. 2 balls and a strike. Astros pinch hitters have 29 hits and 93 at bats, including 4 homers, 14 runs batted in. It's 2-2 for Kelvin Herrera against Bogusevic. Bogey 1 for 3 in this series, and that 1 hit was a homer. Monday night, he went deep in the 8th inning off Lewis Coleman. Taking that one, it's 3-2 now. Bogey's hitting .256 in June with 3 home runs. Altuve on deck. Struck him out. 2 in a row for Herrera since he came in. AT&T U-verse brings you this reverse replay. We look at the work of Jordan Lyles today.
7 innings. 4 of those 7 innings went 3 up, 3 down for the Royals, and he had everything working. Good breaking pitch. His fastball command was outstanding. Got the double play ball there off the dangerous Butler. This is Escobar with a little slide piece.
Very nice day's work. Altuve fouls it back, strike 1. He's 0 for 3 in this game. There you see the recent games for Jordan. And this one approximates what he did here in his last start at home June 3rd against Cincinnati, in which he gave up 2 earned runs in 7 innings also.
What was that?
Looked like a change. It was wicked too, wasn't it?
Nasty.
Guy comes out of the bullpen throwing 96 and throws this.
Turns that baby over. Little dive bomber.
Way up. Herrera was converted from starter to reliever last year after 2 years of elbow problems.
Dialed that one up triple digits.
And now it's 2-2 to Altuve. Altuve has moved up to 3rd in the balloting at second base for a National League All-Star spot. He was 5th, then 4th. That's a strike. Altuve is rung up, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Herrera. Wow, is he tough.
What do you do with that? 98. Out of 3rd on the kneecaps.
That was tough. Bixler next. Mijares and Holland warming up. And then he drops a breaking pitch on the outside corner. So the former starting pitcher working everything in relief today. Bixler doubled in the 1st inning. Boy.
Yeah, well, with his repertoire, you could easily see him going back to the rotation at some point and dominating.
Good. Royals bullpen with a 2.97 ERA has just been really good. and even without their injured closer, Joaquim Soria. Now back. Bixler hanging tough at 0-2. Jordan Schaefer on deck. And Ned Yost can really deal with this group of relievers he has. As Tim Collins, who's been excellent, has another left-hander. Wow. This guy is just something else. He's struck out 4 since coming in. And after 7, it's Royals 2, Astros 1. Well pitched innings. Now Wesley Wright comes in as the first reliever in the game for Brad Mills after the excellent start from Jordan Lyles. He's 0-1. His ERA is 4.12.
Got some nice smooth jazz playing in the ballpark now.
Yeah, and that popcorn smells really good.
Help yourself.
Thank you.
We'll just switch hitter, left-handed hitter.
Maybe just let the music play for an inning. What do you think? If they would keep that.
They do it in the NBA, don't they? The
well,
guys bringing the ball up the floor and they got the music going on.
And we've all heard the announcerless games, so it's about time to break it out,
game.
right?
Just some nice, mellow.
Yeah, very mellow. Meanwhile, Wesley Wright is not mellow. He's getting ready to face Pena, leading it off here in the 8th inning. Pena 1 for 2 with an RBI on a ground out. Yeah, nice sounds, good food, ambiance. There's ball 1. Dyson's on deck. Hosmer due up third. They both bat left, and that puts Wright in this situation. The Astros have Schaefer, Lee, and J.D. Martinez due up in the bottom of the 8th. It's a strike. 1-1. Atlanta 9, Yankees 5, bottom of the 8th at Yankee Stadium. Jason Hayward's hit 2 for the Braves, giving him 10 this year. See, the Braves have hit 5 homers. The Yankees have hit 4. An explosive day.
It's very hot in New York today, and the ball really jumps. The new Yankee Stadium is very hitter friendly.
Wesley Wright pitched Monday night, 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, with a 4-2 lead in the 7th. That's hit well to center field. Schaefer backing. Schaefer on the run, and Schaefer catches up with it on the track. He had to travel a distance. 1 out.
It's been the difference in the game. The leadoff double and then the 1-out triple. The extra base power that the Royals have exhibited. And a bid for extra bases here. Dies in the capable glove of Jordan Schaefer. 9 home runs altogether in that ball game in New York today.
Dyson's 0 for 2. Infielders creep in. He bunts at it, misses. Strike 1.
There's been an A bomb from A-Rod.
Yeah.
There has not been a text message from Teixeira, though.
He's hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, he got left out of the lineup or left the game early. Saw a note on that earlier. Robinson Cano, don't you know, hit his 14.
I didn't know. Is that the Robbie Cano call?
Yeah. Fernando Rodriguez is warming up. Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's 1-2 for Wesley Wright. Talked with Xavier Cedeno briefly before the game today about his first save. He said, yeah, it was a little different feel being out there in a save situation than in the 7th or 8th inning.
Well, especially that kind of a safe situation. 2 outs and the bases loaded. Then you started the inning with a 9-2 lead, and just the wheels are coming off.
Exactly.
I mean, it's one thing to come into to come in with a 2 or 3 run lead and the base is empty. Certainly pressure in that situation, but nothing like the situation he came into.
Swing and a miss there, and a strikeout for Wright. Strikeout number 5 for Astros pitchers. Now it's Eric Hosmer batting for the first time. Hosmer entering the game in the double switch, batting in the 9th spot in the lineup. He has not started any of these 3 games in this series. Billy Butler has at first. Hosmer came in the 8th inning last night to play first. He's a good fielder. There's ball 1. Did not have a plate appearance last night. He pinch hit with 2 men on, 2 outs in the 7th inning Monday night and struck out. Rolled out to Altuve. Wesley Wright has a 1-2-3-8, keeping the score. Kansas City 2, Houston 1.
Or maybe you got relatives that live outside the Astros area. Well, you can take the Astros with you this season by subscribing to MLB.tv to see every Astros out-of-market game live online or on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball is everywhere. This afternoon, we're inside the dome. There you see Alberto Quintero into the game. The guy's going to tell you all about him and the rest of this game. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. Jose Mijares, a 2-1 record, a 2.39 ERA, 23 strikeouts and 5 walks. Continues the bullpen parade for Ned Yost after Kelvin Herrera was perfect, retiring 4, all by strikeout.
Wow. And Ned Yost just took the best pitcher in the world out of the game. That was unbelievable. Mijares doesn't have the power arm that some of the other Royals relievers do, but he has tremendous control, as you saw with those 5 walks. He's about 90, 92 miles an hour. Good slider. Longtime member of the Twins organization.
He came in the 8th inning Sunday at St. Louis. Kansas City was trailing 2-1. He allowed a leadoff double to Daniel Descalzo, and then he struck out Carlos Beltran. Lefties are hitting .222 against him. And he continues the strikeout parade by Kansas City relievers. That's 5 in a row by their bullpen. Ned Yost is bouncing out of that dugout. He wants a right-hander. For Carlos Lee, J.D. Martinez.
I think we need to reintroduce the bullpen buggy. Move things along.
That'd be nice. 2-1 Kansas City. Back in a moment. Martinez watching the warm-ups of Greg Holland, a right-hander. We go back to the Brown Hand Center. Great hands of the game play by J.D. And it comes on a fly ball by Betancourt, second batter in the game. He ranges over by the left field line and makes the backhanded running catch. Now he comes up against Holland. 1 out, nobody on. 2-1 Royals. Bottom of the 8th inning. Holland, 26 years old, from Morgantown, North Carolina.
Another real hard thrower. Not quite the fastball that Herrera has, but you see there clocked at 94 and he'll touch 97.
2-2 with the 3.86 ERA for Holland. He paints with that one, and it's 1-1. Holland worked an inning Sunday at St. Louis. We haven't seen him yet in this series until now. It's 2 balls and a strike. He was on the DL, activated May 12th. He missed 18 games with the left rib stress reaction. Since coming back, he's pitched well. 2 runs allowed in 17 innings. He was a rookie last year and had a 1.80 ERA for 46 appearances, striking out 74 in 60 innings.
One of those max effort guys. Sits on that back leg and then heaves it homeward. Averaging better than 12 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched this year. He's walked a number of guys, though, so got to make sure you get him in the zone.
He went to Western Carolina University. What are they, JD? The Catawbas?
I'm going to go with Catamounts.
Catamounts. Yeah, you're good at those. Line drive over the right side of the infield.
Go.
And here's the throw from Francoeur, and he's safe at first. Hosmer didn't hold it, but that was exciting. Not a routine single. Francoeur's going to make him earn it.
Boy, how can you do that to a guy on his 36th birthday?
You wanted to.
Carlos pushes that one to right field, and Francoeur, making no assumptions, comes up, It's off a good strong throw to first base. Carlos appeared to have beat it anyway, but no doubt when Hosmer couldn't handle it. Now those first 3 or 4 steps and then the realization, I better get on my horse here.
Well, J.D. Martinez looks at ball 1. He has 2 hits. And he bounced into a double play in the 6th inning after back-to-back walks to open that frame. One of the big plays in this game for the Royals.
Carlos is not breaking a streak of 5 consecutive punch-outs by Royals pitching. Astros have struck out 11 times this afternoon. That's been a big problem for them over the last few weeks.
Fernando Rodriguez and Brett Myers are warming up for Houston. Lowry's on deck. It's 2-1. Astros went 14 innings without scoring last night and the first 5 innings today before they got that 6th inning run. But in that inning, they drew 2 walks and they got 2 hits and only scored 1. It's 3-1. So if the Astros get the lead, it'll be Myers. If not, going to the 9th, they'll go with Fernando Rodriguez. That's ball 4. Runners at first and second. 1 out for Lowry.
Yost heading to the phone. I didn't see anybody throwing him. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't have a lefty up to turn Lowry around.
Pitching coach is going to the mound now to buy some time. Dave Island. Now we get a pinch runner, a pitcher, Jay Happ, going out to pinch run for Carlos Lee, who comes out on his 36th birthday for the pinch runner Happ. Matt Downs and Jason Castro are left available for Brad Mills, but there might be extra innings today. Lee comes out. Happ represents the potential tying run. Lowry was hit by a pitch in the 4th. He got an infield single and drove in a run on that hit in the 6th inning. Jed now gets to bat from the much better side of the plate for him this year, the left side of the plate. He's a .294 hitter here with 11 homers and 163 at bats. That works out to a .552 slugging percentage left-handed. Strike. Now it's Aaron Crow and Tommy Hotovy warming up for the Royals. Hotovy, the left-hander.
Good depth on that breaking ball. And he's got the jump on Jed 0-2. Lefty's hitting .242 against this guy, so that maybe explains why Ned Yost has left him in the ball game. Likes the way he matches up against a left-handed hitter.
Lowry pulls it foul.
Hotovy and Crow heating it up for the Royals.
Royals are a much better team on the road than they are at home. They're 19-16 away from Kauffman Stadium, 11-20 at home. Ball 1 to Lowry. Cleveland plays at home tonight against Cincinnati with Justin Masterson starting against Bronson Arroyo. And the Indians will be heading for Houston for the Friday night opener of the Interleague Series. Lowry swings at it, and that's a strikeout, out number 2. These relievers have some wicked stuff.
Yeah, a lot of breaking balls there from Holland. Let's take a look. Astros had to like this matchup with Lowry up there, but Holland countered with some good breaking stuff. kind of feathered one in there for strike one, and then started throwing some power breaking balls to Lowry, and really never came off of it. Took one shot down with a fastball, but I think that was just a show-me fastball, and then back to the breaking ball one more time to finish him off.
Chris Johnson has struck out twice and singled to left. Way outside, ball one at 96.
And Royals' bad home record, of course, fueled by the fact that they lost their first 10 home games this year. Boy, that'll really fire up the home fans.
Put a damper on your season. Hey, come on out and see the Royals at home. They're 0-10. 2-0, but they're hosting the All-Star game. That is usually a boost for season ticket sales. People get those options to buy All-Star tickets. You know, their relievers, JD, have worked 257 innings. Their starters 337 coming into this game today.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that they've held up so well under all those innings. 2 balls and a strike. And the guy who pitched 2 innings, Lewis Coleman, in relief of Jonathan Sanchez Monday, was the only reliever to work. All the other guys were worn out. There were 4 pitchers unavailable for Ned Yost in that game, but that game gave his club a chance to regroup for last night and today. 3-1 now.
It goes back to my outside the box roster management theory.
Yeah.
Sign a whole bunch of pitchers who'll give you 2 or 3 innings, guys with nasty stuff. Keep some of them in AAA and just do a line change every now and then.
Okay. Holland gets strike 2. Humberto Quintero entered the game in the double switch. So he's been in all 3 games in this series. Happ at second. JD Martinez at first. They'll be moving on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Johnson swings and misses, and that's it. And the Astros 8th inning. What a strikeout barrage by these Royals relievers. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded. They take a 2-1 lead to the 9th.
To you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Our game moves to the top of the ninth. Astros still down by a run, but there's still hope if you can hang close, and that will be the job of Fernando Rodriguez, the Astros' 3rd pitcher. Now let's go back to the booth. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Very important assignment, too, with Matt Downs taking over at first base and Fernando Rodriguez coming in with his club down by a run. And the 8, 9, and 1 hitters are due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Fernando 1-7 with a 6.23 ERA. Last outing for him brought him a loss Sunday at Texas. And in 2/3 of an inning, he gave up 4 runs. He allowed 1 hit and walked 3. Came in with a 1-0 lead in the 6th.
Just an outstanding day all the way around for the pitchers on both sides. And Fernando now gets his opportunity to do his thing after Wesley Wright pitched a 1-2-3 inning, and that's kind of been the norm. There's 1, 2, 4, 5 3 up 3 down innings now for the Astros pitchers here this afternoon.
Was that the anniversary couple there in that shot that Patty interviewed a couple earlier? That was not the couple celebrating their 3rd wedding anniversary. Fernando Rodriguez gets another baseball. Here is Alex Gordon. He tripled and scored in the 6th inning, and that's what gave the Royals their 2nd run. And the Astros got a run in the bottom half. Gordon 1 for 3, to be followed by Betancourt, and then Quintero is in the number 3 spot in the lineup. Strike 1.
Medios has to feel like he's got a real opportunity to steal one here today, because his hitters have been dominated. Just 3 hits, not drawn a walk. Oh man, a tough day for Snyder. Got whacked in the head a couple of times early in the game. Now he takes his breaking ball right off the wrist. Also was hit by a pitch earlier in the game.
Rex Jones will come out.
He reaches for this breaking ball, and then the spin kicks it back the other way, and it appeared to get him on that wrist bone.
Brad Mills, Rex Jones taking a look at Chris Snyder left wrist area. Jonathan Broxton is warming up for the Royals. He's their closer. Catchers have to be tough. What a difficult job. Sometimes you might meet a guy who caught for 15 or 20 years, shake hands with him, and it takes you about 2 minutes to get untangled. Broken fingers.
Oh, gnarly, twisted.
1-1 to Gordon. That floats in for ball 2. Royals have an off day as well tomorrow. The Astros get one here at home in the middle of this 10-game homestand. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex Rodriguez has passed Jimmy Fox on the all-time RBI list. With his home run, 1,925. 6th place. Struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Astros pitchers today.
Fernando could certainly play that power game. Leans back right over the top, 4-seamer.
Betancourt got an RBI on that ground ball to Lowry. It was ruled an error, and he was given an RBI on the play. Gordon was coming to the plate. It appeared that Lowry could have thrown him out had he fielded it cleanly. Ball 1. He's 0 for 3. Quintero on deck. Through the middle, off the leg of Fernando. It goes out to Lowry, who bare hands, doesn't get him. And it's a hit off the leg of Fernando Rodriguez. That brings up Quintero.
Right off the end of the bat, wasn't hit all that sharply, but you see as Fernando finishes his delivery, he's kind of turned sideways and drifting towards first base. Tough for him to make a play on that kind of a ball.
Quintero is 2 for 8 in this series, up for the first time today. At .231, he has 1 homer. He's driven in 19. sharing the job with Brian Pena in the absence of the injured Salvador Perez. There's ball one. One of the outstanding young catchers in the game. The Royals justified what they had done in developing him by giving him a 5-year deal. But then he went down with a knee injury, and he could be back later this month. Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. These former battery mates square off. When you faced a former battery mate of yours, did you feel like he had a little bit more knowledge of you than other hitters, JD?
I don't remember thinking that, but having watched so much baseball over the years since coming up here, it certainly seems to be the case that catchers, when they face their former battery mates, seem to do a pretty good job.
It's 2-1.
I really don't think I faced that many former catchers. Bij might have had that bat or two against me.
Yeah.
Never faced Ash. Alex, I don't think any ABs off me.
Runner going. Foul back. 2-2. Let's see now. You pitched in Bij's major league debut, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Alex broadcasting on Spanish language radio. Okay. Not sure what that means.
Means he loves us.
Okay, but Francisco is liking it, as he's the one doing the broadcasting right now. He shaped his hands perfectly in the shape of a heart, didn't he?
He's been working at that.
I think so. I think he must have done that before. Foul tip and a strikeout. That's out number 2. Now Jeff Francoeur is the batter. He's 0 for 3. 3 groundouts. Frenchie almost threw out Carlos Lee on his hit to right field. So, you know the old saying as a hitter, if you can't get a hit, rob somebody else of one. And he almost did. He has 6 outfield assists this year and a whole bunch in his career. Strike to Francoeur. Glenn Wilson used to love to do that in right field.
Oh, yeah, especially on the turf. Come in and get that sharp true hop about waist high. Load up and throw that BB into first.
And usually the right fielder with an arm like Wilson would always try it on a pitcher.
Yeah, because they're going to be shortened up out there anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Francoeur, though, has been known for his arm ever since he came up with the Braves. Never has had a lot of discipline with the strike zone. Smacks that one to center field. Schaefer waiting. And it's no runs, a hit, and a man left. Now the bottom of the 9th with Broxton warming up, and the Royals leading the Astros 2-1. Go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Ned Yost has called in his closer, big Jonathan Broxton. Broxton came in and got the save last night. He's 17 for 20 in saves this season with a 1-1 record and a 1.63 ERA.
Another one of the power arms out of the Royal bullpen. Big Jonathan Broxton, 6'5", about 3 bills. Time to put on the rally hats, Brownie.
Okay, good. Yeah, you get the new cap giveaway. Yeah. Let's do it.
I can make a little something happen here.
Got the little orange dot on top, too. Broxton last night walked Bogusevic leading off the ninth inning with a 2-0 lead. Then he got 3 outs right after that. There you go.
Helicap. Put him on.
Chris Snyder is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. And he's been banged up behind the plate. Broxton just turned 28 on Saturday.
It would be really nice for Chris Snyder to deliver here because he's had a rough day. He's been beat up behind the plate. A couple of frustrating punch outs. And all it takes is one swing of the bat to turn your day around.
Downs is on deck. And Altuve. It's 1-1 for Broxton. Broxton got a blown save, but a win in the 15-inning game on Sunday. Broxton was born in Augusta, Georgia. Two-time All-Star for the Dodgers. He picked up his 100th career save Friday at St. Louis in that series. But he was not signed to be their closer. Line to left field. That's in for a hit, and Snyder gets something going. Jason Castro is going to come out and pinch run, it appears.
I think it's a pitcher.
Yeah, it's a pitcher, yeah. Castro's the only other position player. Yeah, it's going to be David Carpenter actually pinch running. So Carpenter the runner and second pitcher used as a pinch runner in this game by Brad Mills. And it's Matt Downs batting for the first time. Certainly has proved that he can turn around a very good fastball. Altuve's on deck. Downs grounds one. There's a backhanded play. Moustakas throwing to second. Gets the force play there. And that is a brilliant out, number 1. That is a phenomenal play by Moustakas.
Sure is. He made a play on Wandy. Excuse me, diving on a bunt in last night's ball game, and now backhanded play to his knees, and from his knees a one-hop throw to Betancourt to get the force, keep the tying run out of scoring position. That's just a brilliant play. Unbelievable.
Downs reaching. It's out number 1 now. Altuve batting. Altuve's 0 for 4. Such a big play. Keep that man out of scoring position. Double play depth now. Altuve trying to get on against Broxton. Bixler's on deck. That's ball 1.
Here we go. Another one of those David and Goliath matchups. Big Jonathan Broxton against not so big Jose Altuve.
Lefty Tim Collins, right-hander Roman Colon warming up for the Royals right now. Downs is going. There's a bouncer to the left side. Downs will head for third base. Here's Gordon not making a throw, and it's first and third on the hit by Altuve, who gives it a fist bump at first. First and third, one out as Altuve comes through.
Yeah, I gotta love the aggressiveness on the part of Brad Mills. Starting downs, he's not a base stealer. He's just trying to create some movement, trusting Altuve's ability to put the ball in play. And even if he doesn't, you've got a chance to steal that base. Broxton is not quick to home plate. Gordon couldn't get the handle, and instead of making a desperation throw to third base, held on, and probably wisely so, because there's a chance that Altuve moves into scoring position if he does make an errant throw.
Gordon couldn't get a grip on it. Downs to third on the hit by Altuve. Now it's Bixler, first and third, one out. Rally caps are on. Bixler doubled in the first inning. He's 1 for 4. Jordan Schaefer on deck.
Ned Yost keeps his middle infielders at double play depth, maybe a step or two shorter than they normally would be.
Moustakas in tight, even with the bag at third. Oh, wicked pitch, strike one.
Broxton trying to create some sink there, looking for a ground ball. And probably a good thing Bixler didn't make contact with that one.
Broxton leads the American League in saves since April 26 with 16. The Astros 1 for 10 with men in scoring position. Oh, it almost hit him on the left elbow. 1-1.
Certainly could spoil Ned Yost's plans here if you could steal second base. He would be then forced to pull the infield in or concede the tying run.
Royals relievers have 7 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings of work today. Up the right field line, it's slicing foul. 1-2 to Bixler. Bixler had a big moment on Monday in the first inning. His first major league homer coming off Jonathan Sanchez. He had 3 hits, drove in 3 runs in that game. Now he could really make this quite a series if he can come through here. Kelvin Herrera struck out all 4 men he faced. Mijares had a strikeout, and the only man he faced. Holland struck out 2 in 2/3 of an inning. An overpowering Royals bullpen today. Bixler strikes out.
95 got a little sink, and I think Bixler was just about ready to ask for time out there. Broxton held the ball on him a long time. Hitters get into a rhythm where they anticipate the pitch, and if it doesn't come, you kind of get locked up a little bit mentally. And he was late getting started, I think, because of that. And Broxton holding the ball there to upset the timing of Altuve trying to steal maybe, but really got the added benefit on Bixler at home plate.
Now Schaefer. He took over for the injured Justin Maxwell, who sprained his left ankle. He walked and scored in the 6th. Struck out in the 8th inning. Now a very big at bat.
I expect Altuve to run here pretty early in this at bat.
That's strike 1.
Broxton coming set here and just holding that ball a good long while. Ball is a freaking pinball, a ping pong ball in his hand. He's so big.
Yeah, he is big.
You see Bixler kind of get set and ready to go and just hold. Ask for time. Step out. Too late.
The top ball goes foul. Jason Castro is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next.
Pretty good chance the Royals wouldn't even throw through here if Altuve runs. 1 strike away from finishing the ball game. Might not want to risk an errant throw.
Schaefer 368 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Altuve, if you do run here and they throw through, slam on the brakes, force them to make a second throw home to get downs.
1-2. Schaefer's hitting .266 against right-handed pitching coming into this game. Broxton, pitcher number 5 for the Royals. 12 of their last 13 games have been decided by 1 or 2 runs, and they lead by 1. Runner going. Fly ball left field. Gordon waiting. And Broxton is able to get the final out with 2 men on. And the Royals relievers do this all day long. They strand Astros base runners. 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th inning. Final score as the Royals take 2 of 3 in this series. It's Kansas City 2, Houston 1.